Yeah, what up, Detroit?
No, he didn't.
What's happening, everybody? This is Smitty from DetroitManagement.com, ready to give you my review on the Detroit Lions loss to the Minnesota Vikings, 34-24 in Minnesota. Same old stuff, slow going offense in the first half, but now you're getting even more banged up. We lost Cliff Averill to a concussion. We lost Chris Houston to an ankle injury. And, I mean, if you look across the board, you're without Louis Delmas. You're without Bill Bentley. We can't even evaluate him as a rookie. And I'm really concerned about some of these hits that Calvin Johnson is taking to the head, game in and game out. I mean, Matthew Stafford isn't playing lights out, but he's throwing for 329 yards in a game that now all of a sudden we can't get any production out of the run game. Now, I saw some big holes open up for the Detroit Lions as far as Joyke Bell and Michael LaSure. They're just not explosive enough to turn those plays into, big games. And that's where we're missing Javid Best. So if you want to complain about draft picks, there you go. Calvin Johnson had a fumble. Matthew Stafford threw an interception. And the kicking game was not there. I didn't understand the short kick by Jason Hanson. And Nick Harris did not get, good yardage on his punts. So they were constantly giving Minnesota good field position in this game. And you know what? Shout out to Minnesota. They just flat out took advantage of the Detroit Lions in the way that they played. They didn't do anything really spectacular. They just simply executed the plays that were handed to them, unlike the Lions did. So, putting a lot of pressure on that defense, I've talked about it before. You can't continue to do that when, your offense is already struggling in the first half of football games and you can't move the chains. So the defense is constantly on the field. I think we right back at square one where even if the Lions do score quickly, the defense is still back on the field. So if Nick Harris is getting 38 yards on a punt, you can't even flip the field. One other concern I'm having on offense is I'm kind of thinking that with Scott Linehan and the way that he is coaching, it seems like he's not even comfortable with running the football on first down. Because, of course, we run the ball in the first half and we pass in the second half when we have to, and the plays seem to be there. It's mind-boggling to me why the offense just all of a sudden clicks in the second half. Defenses aren't playing us any different, if you ask me. They know that we can come back, but they're really just keeping us at bay as far as the run game is concerned, because they can stop our run with 7 guys up front. Safety comes up and make a play on Michael LaSure, so be it. But we don't have that explosive back. This is just a game changer anymore. Javid Best is not playing. A lot of people want to start looking at what happened last April. And I'm going to be honest with you. If you look in the past and say, well, if we could have drafted a corner and a linebacker in this past draft, would they be healthy? Who knows? But even if they are they good enough to make the plays that need to be made in order to win football games for the Lions? I would say no. The offense is the problem. We can't get points offensively in the first half on a consistent basis. That's the biggest problem. And it has nothing to do with who you drafted. And I'm talking about Reef and I'm talking about Broyles. They're not the problem offensively. The problem is execution. The problem is sometimes play calling. You got to look at your quarterback and you got to look at the rest of the playmakers. Are these guys getting open downfield? Pettigrew still dropping balls. There's a lot of questions still with this team that were covered up last year with big plays. So, with that said, a lot of these reviews are probably going to wind up starting to change because it's pretty obvious that the Lions would have to have a miracle fall from the heavens for them to make the playoffs at this stage in the game. So, here we are, 4-5. I know it's a down year, and that's just what it's going to be now. But hey, people are going to start making crazy assumptions and predictions and things that the Lions should do. And I'm going to be honest with you, that sounds crazy. Just go ahead and continue to play that we playing. change some things that need to be changed in order to have success on the football field. Again, it's your boy Smitty from DetroitManagement.com. And, what can I say? Shout out to the Minnesota Vikings and anybody else in the NFC that's taking full advantage of this down year for the NFL, because it's not a whole lot of teams that are just really that dominant. So I'll holler at y'all next time.